The final step, we're going to find each of these points, the corner points, the vertices. Notice I have three sides to this shaded region. Doesn't matter how many sides there are, as many sides there are is going to be the number of vertices that we're going to have to find. So if I had some weird, crazy shaded region like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So the number of sides gives you the number of vertices that you're looking for. So 3 sides, I need 3 points. So you actually have to figure out what those points are. If you're really lucky, they will be where a horizontal and or a vertical line crosses. We know what the B value is here because it's a vertical line. That was a vertical line at B equals 10. So this point, this one right here, is going to have a B value of 10 because it's on that line. B is equal to 10. The horizontal line was at n equals 80. So at this point, the n is going to equal 80. The rest of the points are easy, but not quite as easy. So this point right here in the purple, again, it was on the line where b was equal to 10. So I already know the b value. To find the n, you're not going to guess. You're going to actually have to plug it in. So you have to remember where this line came from, because that's what we're looking for, is where those two lines cross. The equation for this line was b plus n is, I'm going to say equal to 200. It wasn't inequality, but I'm looking for the line, not the shaded region, so I'm going to say equal to 200. So where those two lines cross, that vertical line, b equals 10, and this line where they cross, well, I know the b has to equal 10. I already know that from this right here. So if the b equals 10, and I solve for n, I subtract 10, I know that n has to equal 190. So far, I have the points 10, 80. I have the point 10, 190. And I've got one more point that I need to find. It's this one right here. Now, I don't know what my b value is, but it is on the line n equals 80, so I know the n value has to be 80. And it's also on that line b plus n is equal to 200. So I know what the n value is. B plus 80 equals 200. Subtract 80. So b has to equal 120. Don't go by the graph. You actually have to figure it out algebraically. So we've got 120, 80 is the third point. Alright, now I have those 3 points. What I need to do is take these 3 points and I need to plug them into my objective function. My objective function See if I can remember what it is. 500 B plus 350, and let me check that real quick just to make sure I got that right. 500 B plus 350 N. Yep. So what you need to do is plug each of these points in to this P function. So the first point has a B value of 10 and an N value of 80. So the first point I'm going to plug in, I have 500 times 10 plus 350 times 80. Without a calculator, I'm not going to be able to do that in my head, but you would do that in your calculator to figure out what that value is. And when I go to the next slide, hopefully I have that information, otherwise I'll try and find a calculator. I need to plug in the second point the same way. P is equal to 500 times 10, we're doing the second point now, plus 350 times 190, and figure out what that value is. And you also need to do the last point. P is equal to 500 times 120 plus 350 times 80, and figure out what that number is. We're trying to maximize the profit, so whichever these numbers is the largest, once we actually calculate it in the calculator, that would be our answer. Okay, first point we had 33,000, second point we had 71,500, and the third point we had 88,000. So with linear programming, we either want to find the maximum or the minimum. And if you look at the 33,000, the 71,000, the 88,000, 88,000 is the biggest number. So the answer would be 88,000. And we would make, I'm going to put that on new slide so we can actually see what we're doing. So our profit would be 88,000. And we would make 120 notebooks. And that was 80 newsprint. So your answer would be 88,000 with 120 notebooks and 80 units of newsprint. Your homework for this section is 2 through 8 even. I also want you to do number 14.